Welcome to the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative Eddy Kool. The Sports Bros Podcast, by the fan, for the fan, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. We talking sports. All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order.
Oh, boy.
And then there were 12. There were 12. Fellas, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant, or what's another name for the elephant? Is it a pachyderm? Is that what it is? Or anyways, the pachyderm. Let's go ahead and talk about the animal in the room. These here college football playoff cities and everything. So the list goes as follows. 1, 2, 3, and 4 consist of Indiana, Ohio State, University of Georgia, and Texas Tech. 5 through 8 consist of Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. And 9 through 12 would be Alabama. Is that Miami be live at number 10?
Yes.
Okay, Miami. I can't read my hand right. Sorry about that, y'all. Miami at number 10, Tulane at number 11, and James Madison, the Dukes, at number 12. Somebody's missing, guys. Somebody's missing. There's a certain 2-loss team in South Bend that should be here. All right, fellas, did they get it right or got it wrong? Who got snubbed? What say y'all?
Scottie D, I understand the effort that you've put forth to highlight one of the teams that got snubbed. And everybody in the world is clamoring about it. Notre Dame's athletic director is going scorched earth.
Scorched earth.
They're not going.
Bavakwa? Is that his name?
I don't
Bavakwa?
even care, because you know what? I didn't care to learn the man's name because he's doing a bunch of crying, whining, and this is unprecedented how much crying and whining is going on from a team that just they want to live off their independent status. They want to keep all the money to themselves. And now, because it didn't benefit them, they want to cry Mia River, Justin Timberlake. I'm not hearing it. And on top of that, they aren't the ones that got screwed the most. I'm going to go by the numbers. You can essentially say there was 5 teams vying for that last spot. I'm gonna narrow it down to 4. Really, some people want to put Utah up there. Some people want to put Vanderbilt. Some people want to put Tennessee. It really wasn't. The 4 teams that are in question: Alabama, Notre Dame, Miami, and a team that got screwed the most, BYU. And I'm going to tell you why. Every time somebody's in, I'm gonna use y'all two as an example. You hear BYU, do you hear an elite top 12 football team off of first hearing their name? Do you?
Nope.
I think about old white athletes.
Okay.
That's who they are. Mormons, guys who take time out to go be Mormons and then come play later. They're old white athletes.
And that's immediately somebody's thought. Like when you compare BYU to big names like Alabama, Notre Dame, and Miami, the first thing you hear Alabama. Oh, that's the mighty SEC. They had a tough, rough and tumble schedule, this, that, and the third. Notre Dame, story tradition, 11 national championships, one of the true blue bloods of college football, tradition, all that stuff. Miami, arguably the best football team that's ever graced the field, 2001, et cetera, the U and all of that. Then you think of BYU. Brigham Young University. I'm going to go by the numbers. Strength of schedule this year. Alabama was at number 6. BYU was at 22. Notre Dame at 44. Miami at 45. Advantage Alabama and BYU. Strength of record. Comparing if other teams had the same schedule you did and would they have the same schedule, BYU is ranked at 9, Alabama is at 10, Notre Dame 13, Miami at 14. So BYU has a better strength of record. Best win by teams that are currently ranked. Alabama has a win over number 3 Georgia. Miami has a win over number 11 Notre Dame. Penning that. BYU has a win against number 15 Utah. Notre Dame has a win against number 16 Southern Cal. So Alabama, Miami, BYU, Notre Dame. Worst loss by current FBI ranking. Had to go by FBI ranking because 2 of these losses are not ranked in the top 25.
The FBI's involved?
The FPI, the Football
FPI.
Power Index. Cut it
I
out.
thought you said FBI.
Yeah, me too, because I was like, who?
Alabama, their worst loss was against number 33 Florida State. Miami's worst loss was against number 29 Louisville. Notre Dame's worst loss, number 10 Texas A&M. BYU's worst loss, number 5 Texas Tech. BYU had their loss was the best out of the 4. Alabama had the worst loss. Wins over currently ranked teams. Alabama has 2. BYU has 2. Miami and Notre Dame has 1. You tell me in what world, after I read all of that Alabama and Miami make it in, Notre Dame is the first out, and then BYU falls after that. How is BYU below all those 3 teams? Because of the stupid eye test. Because Texas Tech beat them twice in a sound manner. That's the only thing you can say wrong about BYU. Their strength of schedule is better than the other ones that were in, better than Miami. BYU got screwed. Alabama didn't drop in the rankings when they lost in the conference championship. I thought that was the way it was supposed to be. Teams don't get punished by playing in the conference championship and losing the conference championship. BYU not only dropped the spot, but they dropped the spot to let Miami move up. And then the committee decided, maybe now we should consider the head-to-head between Miami and Notre Dame. That's what got Miami in, was the fact that the committee punished BYU. BYU was the first one to get punished because they lost again to the same team again, which is arguably the number 3 and number 4 team in the country. Jesus Christ, what else do you have to do? They have 1 less loss than Alabama. They have the same amount of losses as Miami. They got better metrics. That's cool. That's it. It's literally, it's name and name only. It's humans in the committee, and that's why they won't even give that much time to Notre Dame, because Notre Dame ain't the problem. It's the committee, and they literally went by name and by financial value, because the Big 12 and BYU is a ratings grab. But Miami and the ACC, come on, bro. I'm an ACC guy. It was a terrible situation. And while I got one more dig when it comes to Notre Dame, and I'm crying that they did, because they had such a tough schedule. You know, one of their argument points is that they don't play any FCS teams or teams like that. All of their teams, all their games have been against Power 4 or rank or whatever crazy is. Do you know that 4 of Notre Dame's Power 4 opponents this year, 4 of their Power 4 opponents finished dead last in their respective conferences. They played Purdue. Purdue is dead last in the Big Ten. They played Arkansas. Arkansas is dead last in the SEC. They played Boston College and Syracuse, tied for dead last in the ACC. I'm not trying to hear anything from Notre Dame. BYU got screwed. Got screwed. First of all, they should have never dropped below Alabama or Notre Dame or Miami at all for a loss to the number 3, number 4 team in the country, Texas Tech, and then they lost to them again. That's the only team they lost to. It's the number 4 team in the country.
Mm.
Miami lost to 2 unranked teams. Notre Dame lost to Miami, so by default. And none of them are better than Texas Tech. That's who BYU lost to. BYU got screwed because their name. That's it. There's my gripe.
Scottie D, you got any thoughts on this?
Those are all great points. The committee said Notre Dame was first out, and I think BYU was the second out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, correct.
But I mean, that's a great case as to another reason why Notre Dame shouldn't be crying their eyes out and saying, "Oh, we should be long. We're not going to go play in a bowl game." Now, you know what? Yeah, you should. And they're saying, well, we got a bunch of guys that are going to the NFL. And they sound like scorned boyfriends who got shunned by a girl because they wanted to go to the dance with another guy. That's what they sound like they're crying about that. Sorry, and if my friend Ricky Rich, in all due respect, I know you're a Notre Dame graduate. I'm not anti-Notre Dame, but this is kind of hard for me to sit here and not have a bone to pick with them, because then they start blaming the ACC. Well, the ACC, our relationship is strained because they were pushing Miami. Well, Miami's an ACC team. They want their team in. Of course, you're going to try to promote your own team. I didn't see anything wrong with that.
So here's the
yeah, go ahead.
So here's the deal with Notre Dame. In football, you're independent. Basketball, you're ACC.
Like 20 other sports, they're ACC.
Yeah, and 20 other sports, they're ACC. And then on top of that, I think hockey, they're like Big Ten.
Big Ten, yeah.
So it's kind of like, how can you blame a conference? You want to be the ones that have your own television deal and this NBC money and not join the conference. Just have the football as its own separate entity, because football is the obvious moneymaker at schools like Ohio State and Notre Dame. Now all of a sudden, we don't like this. We get over yourself.
Right.
Play in a bowl game. Better luck next time.
And it's not like their basketball team's popping a big rating in the ACC. They didn't make the tournament the last couple of years. So they're acting like, well, we're going to remember this. Our relationship is strained. Well, instead of the relationship is being strained, go join the ACC in football, because starting next year, the ACC winner gets an automatic bid into this playoffs. So go join that conference and go win it. And then you don't have to worry about this anymore. So I don't know. I understand them being upset. I do, because they start off 0-2 and won 10 in a row. So I understand them. And I think Bavacqua, his name, did make one point that I did agree with, and that's, well, the college football playoff ranking, it means nothing at this point. Well, yeah, I agree with that.
The committee got that dead wrong the entire
Yeah, they should have switched them earlier. I mean, we've been talking
Mm-hmm.
about that for a couple of weeks anyway. And he said, well, they shouldn't have done that and then pulled the rug out from under us. Well, in the end, I think if it came down to Notre Dame and Miami, with leaving BYU out of this part of the conversation, then I think they got that part right, because Miami did beat them. And you can't just say because that game happened in August, it doesn't mean anything. That's regular season game. That's not a preseason game like the NFL has. That's a real game. It should count.
Not a non-conference game.
Don't get me started on that. Oh, it was a freshman quarterback that's never thrown the ball before.
I don't give a damn if it was a 45-year-old quarterback.
You get a 2-week bye just because you didn't prepare properly during the spring practice and training camp, because you didn't come into man. Miss me with the bull. And that goes for Alabama too. I'm sorry. Florida State came in that game more prepared than you. I don't care about how Ty Simpson wasn't ready. If it was really up to me, and I know I leaned into the slight bias a little bit, because Alabama did go on a tear when they won 4 straight ranked opponents. Missouri and Tennessee are no longer ranked.
Nope.
Not that great of a victory. So at the end of the day, yes, strip the schedule came up with Alabama, but BYU would be okay, even as an ACC person, that Miami didn't make it in. I'd have been okay.
On a
But his,
go ahead, finish your thought.
but yeah, and to the point of Notre Dame being mad at the ACC, does Notre Dame not remember in 2020 when the world was in chaos and they still try to scrounge up a football schedule and everything, and nobody wanted to play Notre Dame? Notre Dame would have went through that year playing 0 games, generated 0 revenue if it wasn't for the ACC. Miss me. And then they turned around after that year. They won the ACC championship. Then turned around and said, nope, we're good. We used you for what we needed for you for the 1 year. We're going to stay independent. And now you're going to turn around and say, oh, the ACC treated us badly. What? If I got a chance to get an $8 million check from Miami or get 0 from Notre Dame, I'm going to go with the $8 million check from Miami. You've lost your freaking minds, Notre Dame. That 80 from Notre Dame pissed me off so bad today. When I heard it, that's wild.
Yeah.
Wild behavior, man. I'm sorry, my bad.
Can we at least, as much negativity as at least happily acknowledge the fact that Ohio State got beat the other night? I mean, there was that positive thing that came out of the weekend. That was lovely. And then the Indiana quarterback cut a WWE promo at the end during the post game interview. And I tell you, a lot of this talk going on too. You know who I think is sitting around kind of happy right now is Oregon. Oregon is the 5 seed. They knew pretty much going into the weekend they weren't going up anymore. They were going to be playing. So they're going to be playing their first playoff game, a home game against JMU, I believe, right?
James Madison.
Yeah.
You got to feel good about that if you're Oregon. And then if they win, they will play Texas Tech, I believe, in the second round, which if you have your choice, you would probably rather play them than Indiana or Ohio State in the second round.
Georgia. Yeah.
Or Georgia, right. So Oregon has really quietly got a pretty favorable draw here when it comes to this. So good for them. And like I said, if I'm Oregon, I'm probably sitting here like, you guys go ahead and argue and fight. We're just going to go ahead and practice and beat JMU, and we'll see you in the finals.
Oregon's got the Ohio State draw. The draw that Ohio State had last year, and when Ohio State was allowed to go on that tear, Oregon could easily win it all.
They could. So, Oregon's sitting pretty.
Yeah. What you cannot do, you can't count out them Ducks, man. Cannot count out them Ducks. But shout out to Tulane for making the playoffs as well, too, man.
Tulane's in and Pitt's out. What a travesty.
To all the people, to all the pundits, all the naysayers, social media is a joke. It's an absolute joke. It gave every stupid person in America and all across the world a voice. Shut up. Do some research. Realize what you're talking about anytime you talk about something on the subject matter. They want people like, James Madison and Tulane got in, but Notre Dame and Texas didn't get in. Look at the rules. Notre Dame is just as culpable for this because Notre Dame sits in the committee room. Notre Dame made these rules. There's a reason why next year Notre Dame is in the top 12. They automatically get a playoff bid, just being in the top 12. That's in the rules next year.
I don't get it, but
next year, Duke would get an automatic bid for being an ACC champion. That rule is changing next year.
Yeah, the ACC needs to fix that, though, because if you're the ACC, you should be embarrassed if that's going to be representative of a team with 5 losses. They have to fix that within them.
Well, the thing about it is that they need to change their tiebreaker standings.
Whatever it is, they got to fix it.
Reason why Miami was not in the ACC championship,
right?
It came down to, I think, like the 4th tiebreaker of opponents' win-loss record, and somehow, some way, Duke played better teams slightly than all the others. It was a 5-way tie, mind you.
Fix it, ACC.
Yeah, that was it. That was a
Schedule Pitt and Clemson right now for it, and then let's just move on.
Yeah. We
Clemson.
said the
Clemson
hell with
didn't need to
everybody
be
else.
Clemson didn't need to be nowhere near.
Mm-mm.
That's what essentially what happened is that there was no clear cut team in the ACC. Miami just so happened to just like I don't know
They
that
beat
people.
Notre Dame in August. That's why they're in it.
Yeah,
That's
that's it. That's
exactly why
exactly why they're in it.
they lose that game. And there's no ACC team in there.
Right.
No,
New York,
not one.
concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Be like
Here
what?
comes Dabo.
What the?
Yeah.
Be like what's the name of that bowl? Was it the Pinstripe Bowl?
The Bad Boy Motors Pinstripe Bowl, Clemson versus Penn
The
State,
bad boy mowers.
December 27th, noon at Yankee Stadium. Dude,
What? So,
hey, let me. I got to do this on the air. I know you gave me 12 minutes. And we're at 30. It happens. All right, cool. This is how I found out. I was I literally was I was sitting at the house after like literally just mind blown that Miami got in and all the things and Notre Dame. I was so happy that Notre Dame got out. I was like, all right, I need to find out what
You were sleep.
bowl game Clemson was going to. I didn't care about NFL really at the time because my Panthers was on a bye week. I was like, I'll catch the highlights when I catch the highlights. I like naps. So I was like, let me go check and see what game Clemson made it to the bowl game because it released later on that afternoon. And I happened to just look at it and I was like, the Pinstripe Bowl. Yankees, it's nice, man. Did I say December 27th? What time is it? Wait a minute. I literally frantically went to go check my email to go check what time my flight was leaving New York City. Like what day, what time. Literally, my flight was leaving New York City December 27th at like 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, ew, no, I am way too close to seeing Clemson in a bowl game, which I was like, I'm going to change this. And I found a cheaper flight leaving out of New York, actually Newark, New Jersey, leaving out at 10 o'clock p.m. I hope the TSA gets their life together and the air traffic controllers get their life together. So I'm not stranded up there. But I was like, man, I have to do this. I have to do this as the Christmas present to myself. I'm going to go watch this game. I'm literally in New York City. And I'm going to be flying out of New York City as like the buses are leaving the hotel. Oh, no. And no, it's another side note. Adam Randall, you know his dad is from North Myrtle, right? He's
Adam
like
Randall. He won American Idol one year.
I'm not talking about that. Here you go. But his dad, Jerome Randall, he's a family friend. My mom is trying to I'm trying to get me a ticket with him. I've already bought a ticket, but I'll put that back on Ticketmaster. I ain't worried about it. If I can sit with Adam Randall's family during that game too to watch his final game.
I'm sure they'd be really excited about that.
Oh yeah. Maybe shut up. Yeah. So sick of you, but yeah. Yeah, I know.
That's cool.
They might be down at ESPN Zone watching it. They find out you're sitting in there.
He said the ESPN Zone. All right, fellas. So some more before we get up out of here and head to the NFL portion of the program. Saw something in college football. Memphis, they have a new head coach. Memphis hires Charles Huff after one season at Southern Miss. Apparently, last season Southern Miss went 1-11, and he turned them around to be 7-5, and that means you finna get a new job, Calvin. So he goes to Memphis. Is probably gonna take a bunch of players with him. This is the same gentleman last year who had a pretty good year at Marshall last year. They got the job at Southern Miss, and then all the players damn near from Marshall came down there with him to Southern Miss, and
skipped the bowl game. They shut down the bowl game last year. Like 10 teams have done this year.
Yeah, they didn't have enough players.
That's a new. That's a new trend, fellas.
That's not
usually
a good trend.
It is a new trend. There are 10 teams that are saying we're not going to bowl games,
and seven of them
are 5-7.
Right, they were not bowl eligible to start with. It's one bowl that's looking for a team. It's one bowl. They're trying to find somebody to play Georgia Southern, and with the three teams are the big ones: Notre Dame,
K-State,
Kansas State, and
Iowa State.
Iowa State. Yeah,
Well,
those are the
two of
three.
those teams are in coaching searches, so that's why Iowa State's actually their coach Matt Campbell took the Penn State job on Friday, and I got to tell you, if I'm Penn State, I'm jumping for joy. I'd like to have this guy coaching my college football program. I think he's gonna do very well at Penn State.
I would love to have anybody at this point in time because how badly Penn State has fumbled the ball.
I agree, but what this guy did with Iowa State in 10 years, a program that's really not known as a football powerhouse. They've been competitive. They've been bowl eligible. They won a title, a regular season title, I believe.
Who's actually playing for Penn State next year? Half their team is at Virginia Tech now, and the ones that were coming in left, decommitted.
Well, maybe some of this guys commits from Iowa State will decommit and go with him. You never know. I mean, free agency is open. It's free agency time. Let's talk about NFL. We're running college football into the ground, and we're never going to get out of here. We're never going to have time to bowl if we don't move on here.
Oh boy, here we go. All right, with that being said, we're going to take a little quick break, and coming back, we're going to be talking about the NFL. Yes, the NFL. Hot, heavy, wacky, wild, and all that fun stuff. Stay. Don't you dare go away. Your favorite sports podcast, the Sports Rules Podcast, will be right back.
New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Perfect timing, fellas. Perfect timing, fellas. I knew it was the Sports Pros Podcast. We hope you enjoyed that little conversation about the college football playoffs. As we thought the bowl champion, BCS, and all that other stuff was confusing as all outdoors. We talked about the playoffs thing here. So let us know your thoughts, man. Drop something in the comment section. Let us know, and we'll talk about it right here on the Sports Bowls Podcast. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what in the hell happened this week in the NFL. All right, so we had a lot of games going on, fellas. We got it's getting real close to the nitty gritty. I think we have like 4 games left in the regular season before the playoffs go underway. So the question I have is the biggest winners of the week, and I'll go first. All right, so I'm gonna make this real quick. The biggest winner of the weekend was Houston getting on the road, beating Kansas City 20-10. And we saw why they're the number 1 defense in the league, because Patrick Mahomes could not get together to save his life. He was 14 for 33, 160 yards, no touchdowns, and 1, 2, 3 interceptions. So when's the last time we've seen Patrick Mahomes throw 10 interceptions in the game? Never, not ever. All right. Yep. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, C.J. Stroud, he went 15 for 31, 203 yards, and 1 touchdown. And the Texans, they're the winners of 5 straight. And as of right now, they hold the 7th spot in the AFC playoff picture. And and Kansas City, well, they might be done. Might stick a fork in them because they haven't been looking good all year. They are currently 10th and have a 15% chance to make the playoffs. Are they going to need some help? It's probably not going to matter anyway because, just go ahead and stick a fork in Kansas City. They are Dunzo. Scottie D, biggest winner of the week. Who you got?
I think if you look at the NFC North, you could say either the two teams that won, scratch Minnesota, but Green Bay beating Chicago was really big. But for Detroit beating Dallas on Thursday night, that saved their season. They had, and not only did they beat, but they put a big number up on the Cowboys. And much as I love the Cowboys, we were getting a lot of love there after a 3-game stretch and the Thanksgiving Day win. And all of a sudden, the Cowboys have turned things around, and this is an elimination type of game. Well, and maybe it was. I think that could have polished off the Cowboys because it does put the Lions ahead of them in the wild card, but it also keeps them alive within their own division. With Green Bay at 9-3-1, Chicago 9-4, Detroit having a 6-game and a loss column would have pretty much stuck a fork in them division-wise. And they have a couple of tough games. They got to play at the Rams next week. Rams, they're on a bye week this week, right? They did not play, so they're going to have a rested Rams team. Then they get the Steelers, and then they finish their last 2 games on the road at Vikings, at Bears, 2 division games. So it's not over for Detroit. They kept things alive. Had they lost to Dallas on Thursday night, I think their season would have been toast. But as it stands, they are in both the wild card race and the The division race. Be Live, who you got?
Well, yeah, y'all took all the good ones. Now I'm just playing.
No.
But the two games that stood out to me resided in the NFC West because they're the reason why they are the two best teams in the NFC right now, and that is your Los Angeles Rams and your Seattle Seahawks. Granted, you look at the level of competition that they played, and you're like, well, but at the end of the day, you play the teams that are in front of you, and you win them how you're supposed to. And
Yeah, the Rams didn't have a bye this week. Right?
no, they played the Cardinals.
Yeah, they had that's right.
They might as well have had a bye the way the score was.
Yeah,
It was 45-17.
Stafford tore them up, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because right when you said bye, I was like, well, they did play the Cardinals, so I mean,
yeah.
I should have caught you then, but I was formulating my thoughts after y'all took as y'all took all the good games. Because I was like, all right, I'm gonna talk about the Texas Chiefs. No, I can't do that. I'm gonna talk about the Bears, but no, I can't do that. I'm gonna talk about the lot. No, can't. All right, I'm scrambling.
like eggs.
Well, I mean, the Steeler game was still sitting out there for you too, because that was a pretty big one for them to win.
Well, that is definitely. See, the thing about it is, I didn't want to say that game because the Steelers didn't win, but the record is still. The Steelers
they did.
The Steelers didn't win. That was horse crap. Like, what are we? Okay, see, that's why I didn't do it because I knew I was going to go down this rabbit hole. The Rams handled their business. The Seahawks handled their business. And we're looking 2 weeks from now, Thursday night game, one of the biggest games of the year, the Rams versus the Seahawks. It's a Thursday night game. It is going to be crucial because it's going to be the difference between a number one seed, a first round bye, and home field advantage, or a number 5 seed potentially having to travel to Charlotte. If my Panthers could do what they need to do to win that division, because they're tied. The Panthers are tied for
first place.
For first place in the NFC South, because the Saints did their thing against the Buccaneers. The Succaneers are 2-5 in their last 7 games after starting 5-1. Can it happen? That's why I got new freshness.
Also be live. The Atlanta Falcons have been eliminated from playoff contention.
Gotta get them out of there. Oh man, but yeah, I'm focused right now because the Panthers do have the Seahawks in one of those 4 games.
Whew.
I mean, we did it against the Rams. We got the crap beat out of us against the 49ers. So what's going to happen against the Seahawks? Is Sam Darnold going to get his revenge? Or
will he go back to seeing Ghost again? I want him to see.
I don't believe in Sam Darnold at all.
I want him to see Casper and the Halloween Ghost with the white sheet with the eyes cut out going. Woo! I want him to see them. I want him to see them ghosts. Yeah.
Oh man.
Or Sir Per going. Rah! Yeah, I need him to see all the ghosts.
But yeah, those definitely clear games that I looked at, and man, oh man. Can I just say this real quick and we'll go into the rest of it?
Go ahead.
Indiana Jones.
God.
Non-contact injuries.
Yep.
Easily the best season of his career. And
contract year 2, by the way.
The Colts are going in the wrong direction.
They certainly are.
And they did not need that. So prayers, thoughts to him and his recovery. Dang.
Yep, yeah. I hate it for him because he was finally finding his groove. So
yeah, man, I hate that too, man. Because I'm looking, I was like, there's like Daniel Jones out for the season. I was like, let me see what the extent of the injury was. Soon as he dropped back and hit and planted and hit the ground, I was like, oh boy, yeah. Yeah, that's that Achilles rolled up in the back of that and on the back of that leg.
I wanted to mention that as a big win for the Jaguars. It just didn't feel right because it's injuries, and injuries. Man, oh man, and it just the Colts were riding high, and now it's just like, what do you do now?
Yeah.
And I think Anthony
By
Richardson
the
is
way,
still on the shelf.
Anthony Richardson is not activated. Do you know why he's not playing?
I I I think I vaguely read over that he might still be hurt.
Yeah, but do you know why? Do you know why he's out? Do you guys remember why he's out? Because I didn't know this until about 5 minutes before we started this show.
No, why is he out?
He has like a facial fracture from warming up with bands, like
Oh
exercise.
yeah, no, yeah,
He
he
hurt
got
himself
caught.
in some kind of
Like
weird
this.
way. I mean, this is crazy.
Lord Jesus.
I can't make that up. I
Uh,
can't make that up.
I don't know.
So
oh,
yeah, that's our guy. That's Beli's number one pick a couple of years ago.
that's not. I never said that.
We can go to the tape and I can prove it.
Okay, go for the, look it up. Look it up.
We will. We'll do it. We'll do it.
We'll look it up later. But anyways, speaking of that, all right, Scotty D,
AR-15, right? Or
was it
whatever.
AR-15? Yeah, AK-47, chopper down. Anyways, uh,
I want y'all to catch all of this right here.
every last bit of it. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. But anyways, all right, folks, we're at the point of the season where do we look smart with our Super Bowl picks? Do we look smart with our MVP picks, Coach of the Year picks? Or has it gone all shot to hell? And I see Scottie D has the infamous yellow piece of paper. And what we got, Scottie D? Who said what? And what said who?
Beli picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl over the Eagles. Who's your current pick?
It ain't. Well, see, here's the thing. Okay, I've always said this a lot of times. You don't let the refs win the game or lose the game for you. So it shouldn't have been that close. But they should have won.
Yep.
But it's like the margin for error gets smaller and smaller for the Ravens, and now they got it.
They get a tough stretch too coming up.
So I don't believe in the Ravens. I wish I did. It's just I don't know what it is. Me and Scottie D talked about it the other day. Like at some point in time, maybe John Harbaugh has to take some of the onus. Like you got a lot of raw talent in this. I mean, is it like it's just something's not like gelling or meshing with the team or whatever? But I don't know. But
so who you got?
I've got the New England Patriots versus the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl, and I have the Rams winning it all. I have the Patriots to seem like they I think they're playing with house money, and that's that's a very dangerous team. They still don't have that signature win, and their strength of schedule this year is one of the weakest actually. But you play the teams that are in front of you, and I just I think they're gelling. I think they have a recipe that will be successful in the postseason. I think the other teams, the teams with the big names and everything, we could be looking at a postseason in the AFC without Lamar Jackson, without Justin Herbert, and without Patrick Mahomes. That very well. And then Josh Allen, they don't have a defense. So I don't know. And Josh Allen's doing everything. Is that going to last? It hasn't lasted the past few years.
Well, my preseason pick was the Bills to win the Super Bowl over the Eagles, and I am still going with the Bills. I still think they're the team to beat in the AFC. I don't trust Denver in a playoff situation, and I don't trust New England because they haven't really won many tough games. They've had a pretty easy schedule. Now, credit to them because they have won 10 games or 11 games, whatever it is, and you're still beating NFL teams when you're playing, but their schedule hasn't been quite as hard. Right. I think when the going gets tough and it's January, I'm trusting Josh Allen before I'm trusting Drake May, and I'm going Bills still. I will probably amend the Rams over the Eagles, although I still am not 100% sure that the Eagles can't get right because of the experience, and they look a mess right now. But you know, I mean, is there really another dominant team? And we thought it was the Rams, and they went out and got beat last week. So you just don't know if a team like the Eagles can rely on that postseason experience once they get in the tournament. Eddie, you picked Kansas City and Philly. You like either of those teams?
I don't like none of them. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No.
They've both teams to me, even though the Eagles have a winning record, both teams have regressed. They have regressed, and Kansas City is damn near falling off the map. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I don't like what Chiefs. Am I looking at Chiefs? Andy Reid, what are you doing going for? What is nah? Let's see. I'm gonna have to vote the New England Patriots, man. There's something about them, man. They just seem to be playing some spot on football. They damn near play mistake free football. But then again, like you said, Scottie D, when it comes to experience, you got the Bills and Josh Allen. But I'm still voting the Patriots. So Patriots Rams Super Bowl, and hopefully we'll get more than 15 points this time around. Because you know what happened the last time these last two teams played the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it was like
it was a snoozer.
Like the world's worst Super Bowl. And I was like, you mean to tell me we watched the 15-3 Super Bowl? That's a hard. that was a hard fought win for the Patriots. That had to be. That was a hard fought win.
It was
the game when that sloppy. It was just old school grinding a defensive struggle. So that's that. Yeah. So I got Rams Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
How about MVP?
MVP at this point of the season. Who do we say? Did we?
Well, I'll tell you mine because earlier in the season we thought Jonathan Taylor, and then Matthew Stafford kind of made a push. I think most likely Stafford will win, but I would go with Myles Garrett. If this guy can break a sack record playing for the Browns, he deserves to be the most valuable player of the league, even though he's on a bad team. I'm going Myles Garrett as my pick, although I don't think he will actually win it.
That's a good pick. That is a good pick, Scottie D.
It's one of those things where maybe let's start campaigning for that.
They're not going to give it to a defensive pick. That's just not going to happen. But I think he is deserving. Right, yeah, but I think he is deserving of it because everybody knows he's the best player on the team, and you have to plan for him and around him. And he still has sacked the quarterback 20 times, and it's only December the 8th.
Did you see that one where he was matched up against Trent Williams on the San Francisco 49ers and just basically sidestepped them like I've never seen before? Have y'all not seen that video?
I didn't see that one. No.
Bruh. Trent Williams will be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No doubt.
Without a question on the offensive line. And Myles Garrett made him look silly. I've never seen it was a sidestep, and the way he sidestepped them, he sidestepped about 5 yards inside. Like it was a lateral move like I've never seen before in my life. Myles Garrett made Trent Williams look silly on his move for one of his 20+ sacks that he's had.
And he's at the peak of his game, and he's not on a contract year. Yeah, he's on I already got paid year, and he's putting up this kind of number. So I think he's the MVP. Who you got?
I have Matthew Stafford. The stats are there. He's leading the NFL in passing touchdowns, leading the NFL in passer rating. He's on the team with the NFC's best record. He's sitting 4th in passing yards. It's just like this is his to lose at this point in time.
Yeah,
like. Because they love quarterbacks, and he's having one hell of a year. Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, geez, Devontae Red Zone Adams, great day. Yeah. He's automatic when you get inside the 10-yard line. Hey, yeah. And Matthew Stafford's putting the ball where it needs to go. Rams, Matt Stafford, yes, sir.
I'm gonna have to go with Matt Stafford too, man, because I don't see too much from everybody else. And Matt Stafford has been consistent throughout the entire season. Minus very little training camp, very little time to build a rapport with Devontae Adams, but you can't tell.
We cannot tell. We had him with the bad back at the beginning of the season, and we're wondering if he was actually going to play. I think he's made a statement. Drake May has really good numbers as well as far as when MVP consideration. And the Patriots are really good, and that brings me to my pick for the coach of the year because I wanted to give it to Ben Johnson with Chicago Chicago, but you got to win those big games. And right now is Mike Vrabel for the Patriots. The Patriots
Agreed. I agree.
4-13 last year.
Clean sweep.
They were 4-13 last year. They're 11-2, and this is Vrabel's first year. Nobody gets that better that quickly. Like,
not only that, but the development of Drake May. You
Yeah.
have to give him credit for that too. And I give credit to the Carolina Panthers coach. He's got to be at least in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right about that, man. He's got to be in the conversation because last year it was like he's not gonna make it towards next year.
Consistency. That's the only problem.
I don't know his name, but these
Dave Canellis.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you remember this? Be live. Hey, Scottie D, what's the name of the Arizona Cardinals coach? Exactly. All right, moving right along. No,
and I still don't remember. We had a whole conversation about him.
Gannon.
Yeah, something like that. Sure.
Gannon, Cannon, Pistol, Poop Out, one of them, right?
I'm not going to worry about it because he's probably not going to be the coach in February, so I'm not going to worry about learning it.
Probably not. Speaking of people who should be a coach after February, Kevin Stefanski. Oh Lord.
Yeah, he's probably.
Nope. See,
he's riding with that adorable quarterback though, and if they improve the last couple games, maybe they will.
Not after yesterday.
It was a questionable call to not have him on the field for that
Nobody benches their starting quarterback on that play.
And
it was not smart.
And you put in a rookie running back to run the Wildcat.
Yeah, that might have been what gets him out of there.
I asked Ed earlier to do the research for me. What did Shedeur Sanders do to Kevin Stefanski? Because it's clear as day that he does not believe in Shedeur at all. The man had 350 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. You still don't believe in him?
Don't you have to bowl?
I'm just saying, man, this is crazy. Got me believing in Shedeur now.
Don't you have to bowl?
I do have to bowl, but I still got 25, 30 minutes. Man,
what you already used them on BYU.
Oh boy, here we go. With that being said, looking at my phone, guess what time it is, fellas?
I'm in my Stephen A. Live right now. Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah,
Money Man Orlovsky.
And I guess I'm Cam without the funny hats. I think I would look good in the Mashika. I ain't gonna lie to you straight up. I thought about buying one, but I'm not about to pay $500 for a lid. All right. Guess what time it is, fellas?
I do have a watch, but it doesn't tell me exactly what time it is. But I believe I know. What time is it, though?
I'm glad you asked. It's time for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. And with that being said, yo, button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming back at you right after this.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Get to the wonderful and Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. Yes, Scott, we're on. Where we give you guys a question, you give us the answer, and we talk about it right here on the Sports Bros podcast. Scottie D, was a pretty cool question, man. What's on Tickety Tap for this week? Choices of the voices.
We asked what NFL team makes the league better by being good, by being competitive, by being relevant in the postseason conversation. And some of you did not understand the assignment because I said you couldn't choose your own team. And some of you did very well. So let's go and see what the people said, Eddy Kool.
All right, Trey Dizzle says the Dallas Cowboys make the NFL suck.
One who didn't understand the assignment.
This is willful ignorance on his part. It is like, this point, yes. he knew what the assignment was. He chose to do this, but you know what? It was whatever. I think we just accept him for who he is at this point in time. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, and the Cowboys are ugly. Okay.
It's true.
All right. So Brad Thomas, he says, I'll go opposite here and say, I've noticed how much people are glad Kansas City has been losing.
Okay. Didn't really answer the question, but I get the sentiment. Doesn't really help us much. What else? What else we get there, Eddy Kool? What's else in the
We got the
in the
American
mailbox?
Dream, Dusty Henry, baby. He says Green Bay, not only because I like them.
Okay.
Huh, huh.
Oh, it's his favorite
Strike
team.
one.
Do you think his favorite team?
Strike two.
Okay. I thought we had a good one there for a minute.
We did not, because he is a diehard Green Bay fan.
Okay.
So I had to get him immediately. Penalty box. What are you doing to me, man?
Okay. What else we got? What else?
I'll finish reading this, and it's going to be quick. He said, Green Bay, not only because I like them, but they are the only publicly owned team in the league. Scottie D, next time, type the question in all caps and see if it resonates.
I
No, no,
guess.
no.
What's going on.
But I agree with him, though. I do think
Yeah.
Green Bay being good makes the league better. But okay.
Yeah, but we made it a purpose.
Yeah.
Because we wanted people to think outside of the box.
Right.
It's very easy for us to pick our own teams. Like, oh yeah, they're good. Everything's good. No, that's not the case with some teams.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
And it's not towards us, it's towards some of the listeners and participants. Why is it so hard for y'all to listen and follow instructions?
We give you a platform where you can be featured on a podcast each week. The choice of the voices, our favorite
All
segment.
over the world.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't when the light turn red, you stop. When the light turn yellow, you slow down. When the light turn green, you go. When Scottie D posts a question and says, name a team other than your favorite team,
All caps.
which makes the NFL interesting. See, the auto zoom is kicking in because the auto zoom want y'all to see all these brown eyes. Okay,
You have beautiful eyes, Eddy.
you know this one girl told me
Ain't nobody
I-
trying to hear none of that.
this one girl said
Hey,
this one girl said, Eddy, she said you got some inviting eyes, and I was
this
like,
ain't onlyfarmers.com. Let's get on to hey, this ain't a dating site.
hey, you better watch out, Be Live. In homage to the late great soul singer D'Angelo, they're gonna give me a closer while I just start turning real slow.
Man, if you don't move on and get a Amtrak this damn thing, the hell we got going on here.
All right, so
We're never going to get to our bowling game.
sure won't. Ramon James, shout Ramon James. He said, "Greetings. I'm going with a different route since I pull for a small market franchise. Seeing most of the animal teams in the hunt this year make it different."
So he is a Jaguars
fan. Mm-hmm.
So he's giving a shout out to the Lions, the Panthers,
The Eagles.
Well, a lot of teams have animal teams. We're not going to count the Falcons, but I mean, I don't know.
This segment's a disaster. Anybody else have a good answer? Joe Comfort, is he out there? Does he have anything good to say this week?
What did Joe Comfort? Let me hunt for it real quick, man.
Matty Ice isn't even getting his on the air because it was terrible.
It was long, terrible, and
yet
Homer.
another commercial for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like they need it anymore.
we get it. We glazed your Patriots very well the previous segment. You get nothing from us. Penalty box.
Yeah, we showed up. Yeah, we did show them some love. Let me see if I can find this segment here, this section here real quick. We apologize, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats, dogs, monkeys.
No, I don't. You know what? No, I don't apologize because Scottie D put the post up. I shared it to the family, and now after I shared the live invite, now they want to answer. I didn't ask. I wasn't asking. I was just telling you what it was. Now we got to get on here and search through stuff. And
all right, let's give our answers. Let's
give our answers. Go home.
Yeah, I thought Joe Comfort had a good answer. I don't remember what it was, but I thought it was good.
How about this? Scottie D and B Live, y'all go ahead and go give y'all answers. I'll find Joe's and get mine at the end. All right, go ahead, Scottie.
I think Joe actually said something about the Browns, didn't he? Maybe did you read it? Which the Browns, I think actually I look at the Browns more like the Cubs in baseball. Where everybody would like to see like the team that has never had any success finally break through after like forever, because the Browns have really not enhanced the NFL since prior to the Super Bowl era. They were champions before the Super Bowl. And I think this is Super Bowl 60 this year, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, and they've never broken ground on a Super Bowl stage. So I think that would be good. But the team I'm going to pick is the team that I like the least out of all of the teams in the league, and that's the Steelers. I think when the Steelers are good, it's better for the league. People either love or hate the Steelers. And a lot of people, like, even if you're not a Steelers fan, people they still identify them as like the common man, the blue collar lunchbox team, and all that stuff. And people have tendency to root for them. It just seems like if they're relevant, they make the league a little bit better. That's a hard thing for me to say because I can't stand rooting for the Steelers. But well, actually, I don't. I just can't stand the franchise. I don't like the Steelers. But I think them being good is good for football. B-Lab, who you got?
I found JoJo Comfort's answer.
Okay, thank you.
So, and his is actually the only good answer that we have.
All right.
He said
JoJo Comfort always come through in the clutch.
Oh yeah. He says, I'd say that any of the traditional doormats in the league winning is good for the league as a whole. And he puts
AKA Browns.
He said Detroit, Cleveland, etc. It leads to a greater degree of parity and competition, two things that strengthen the league and numbers of viewers. And so he's alluded, like say he emphasized Detroit and Cleveland, but he's basically saying the teams that are just usually terrible when they have a resurgence. Yes, Detroit is absolutely in that conversation. I think Detroit being good gives it like, oh, we can do it too. And I'm going to use that as a piggyback into my answer as well. Like I think teams, Detroit, Chicago, I think that's good for Minnesota last year was good when they went 14-3 last year.
Yeah, I think they did.
I feel that's good for the league to see teams that we had no expectation this year. Denver and New England, we would just say who, say what, and then to see the grit.
So here's your answer. Chicago? Is that your answer?
No, I'm piggybacking off of Joe Cover because I believe the same thing. The doormats, the teams that come. Okay, I'll do this even better. Not necessarily doormats, but resurgent teams. Teams we did not expect. Coming into the year, we've been doing this 6.5, almost 7 years now.
Yeah.
And,
oh God.
Yes, we're almost at 7 years. And every year we do this. We do this every single year. We always say, we come in, we say the Chiefs, we say the Bills, might sneak in the Ravens, we sneak in the Eagles, we talk, and we might, and we always talk about those teams. And of course, we talk about we talk about the Cowboys just because it's funny. But every time, like I feel like it's so much better for the league whenever you see a team come from nowhere. Because this year, it might suck to some of us not being able to be what's the best way to put it? Be confident in a team like Kansas City, not having that like Baltimore being not as good this year. I think seeing a little new fresh blood in there will be great for the league moving forward. I think.
Who you got, Eddie?
I think so. I'm gonna go ahead and say this because I really thought about it. I was like, you know what? Whether they win or they lose, whether their owner can't get out the way and say silly things, whether he want to give money or not, football is always interesting when the Dallas Cowboys are in the mix and when they're winning games and being competitive. They're
the best answer of the segment. Thank you for closing us out with a good answer.
The Dallas Cowboys,
I'm
man,
out.
like whether either good, bad, or what the hell?
You had an opportunity. I took my headphones off because I'm gonna say this. I'm interrupting you immediately. Scottie D put a clear instructions to not pick your favorite team. I understand that. but you didn't turn around and pick his favorite team, and you glaze over his team, just negates what he put in his own question. Nobody wanted to hear about the Cowboys.
Before you rudely interrupted him, he was giving us some very good information. Continue, Eddie. I was very
All right, so
pleased
like
by
I
your-
was saying, yeah, I don't know where the hell that came from. Well, like I was saying, the Cowboys, they always make things interesting. It's the season never ends in Dallas. It never ends in, what do they play? Was it not Plano? No, what did they play? Was it Arlington? Yeah, it's never ending. You don't know what Jerry Jones is going to do. You don't never know what he's going to say. Trey Duke still think Dak sucks. Then you got CD, and then you got the whole George Pickens situation. Then you got the whole Micah situation. They make things the Cowboys, they make things interesting. Now if they go this whole 31 year hump. Okay, I got it. But
Yeah.
in the meantime, the Cowboys always make things interesting, and also they're included on the in season um, edition of the Hard Knocks, the NFC East. So that see, they always make things interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? See, that's why Eddy Kool, you're going in the penalty box because you don't know how to follow instructions. You said, what football team makes the NFL better by winning? And you described everything across the board besides winning. The Cowboys don't make the league better by winning. They make the league. They make the league entertaining because they're clowns. That's exactly what you just described. You described Barnum and Bailey.
Listen.
That had nothing to do with the Cowboys winning. They're entertaining because Jerry Jones is a psychopath. Ain't none of that had anything to do with winning.
On Thanksgiving Day. They won, and it was the highest rated regular season game ever. So there you go. All right. Thank you to everyone who participated, and thank you to Eddie for getting this answer correct. Finally.
All right, Scottie D. With that being said, what's on tap for next week?
Who's the meanest NFL player you've ever seen? That'll give us something to talk about next week.
I already got my answer.
The meanest.
I got two of them actually. One on offense and one on defense.
Oh, he's going with Steve Smith. I feel it in my bones.
Well, fine. Then I was going. there was. I was going to have a little like
spoiler
build up to it. Spoiler. He's absolutely right. Agent 89. Oh yeah, you gonna give me the opportunity to talk.
And that'll give us something to talk about next week.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
What?
You
you see this face? That means I scored. Yeah. You see this face? That means I scored again.
I love it. All right, with that being said, that does it for another edition of Choices of the Voices. Coming up next, Be Live. Grab the pepper grinder because these pinto beans smell great, all right? Around the Pepper coming at you right here on the Sports Bros Podcast. I'll never follow instructions and no.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
All right, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell up out of here. But first, a round of pepper. Man, y'all know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really here to engage, enlighten, educate, and entertain. The 4 E's in no particular order, all right? And with that being said, I'll go first. Fellas, guess what happened on this day in history back in, if I can find the year, it was in 1987.
1987. All right. I was 5.
Somebody won the Heisman. Tim Brown won the Heisman.
No, somebody scored, but it was a rarity. On 1987, Philadelphia Flyers goalie Ron Hextall becomes the first NHL goalie to score on a goal, shooting the puck into Boston's empty net in a 5-2 win at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Yep, he was the first one to do it, Ron Hextall.
All right.
Yep. All right. Over to you, Scottie D.
On Sunday, Jeff Kent was elected to the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame by the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee. Right. He was named on 14 out of 16 ballots. 12 were needed. Getting said no to in this cycle was Bonds, Clemens, Don Mattingly, Gary Sheffield, Dale Murphy, Fernando Valenzuela. A couple of those I thought were better players than Jeff Kent. In 17 years, Jeff Kent made 5 All-Star games, but I always thought that his best years came because he had Bonds in the lineup with him. Just didn't think this guy was a Hall of Famer. Didn't think he was better than Dale Murphy or Don Mattingly or Sheffield. And certainly, I understand the Bonds Clemens thing because of the steroid thing, and he was not better than them. As for Bonds and Clemens, they will be eligible on this contemporary baseball era committee cycle again in 2031. If they get less than 5 votes, as they did this time, they will be permanently gone. They will not have another chance. So that's going to be that. But in the meantime, Jeff Kent, I guess, congratulations. I know in 2001 he led the league in sacrifice flies. So there's that. Be live. Over to you.
Oh man. Big things are happening. Big things are happening in the college football recruiting trail. Oh yeah. So as teams scramble to put their teams together, the spring signing and early signing day and spring semester and all the things, the University of Syracuse is out on the recruiting trail and lands a highly touted platinum wide receiver recruit. When I say platinum, you ask what's that got to do with college football? It has absolutely nothing to do with football, but it has
50 Cent?
But it,
Is it 50 Cent?
But it has to do with the music scene where Syracuse just signed 25-year-old Tusi.
Who the hell is Tusi?
Who?
Exactly. Nobody
Tusi.
freaking knows. I guess he in 2020 single Love Cycle went platinum, and his single went Poetic Pain went gold.
And
then favorite song in 2023.
I don't know what the hell it is.
Nobody knows who he is. Well, none of us because we're old.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure this is a Gen Z, Gen Alpha type situation. But Syracuse is out here signing 25-year-old R&B rap artists to their football program. You got to love the direction that they're going in. He's going to get a scholarship while some 18-year-old kid fighting to get out of high school gets nothing. Eddy Kool.
Should have signed Snoop.
The ball.
It's either
Snoop on a stoop.
It's either old dudes past 40 want to play football or young rappers off the street. Anyways, on this day, Scottie D, you'll love this one. In 1988, the New York Knicks set a then NBA record of 11 3-pointers and sink the Bucks 113 to 109.
11. Team record 11.
Yeah.
Wow.
Team record 11. Yeah. And Scott, when in doubt and your shot don't work, what should one keep doing?
Just keep putting it up. Just put it on up.
Yeah, you might as well because you'll barely beat the Knicks. I mean, you'll barely beat the Bucks 113 to 109 as the Knicks did in 1988. Over to you, Scottie D.
Okay, so UFC took place pay-per-view this past Saturday night, and Merab Dvalishvili lost his bantamweight championship to Piotr Yan in one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. If you guys get a chance to check this one out on YouTube or anywhere else, you got to see this fight. If you have the opportunity to see the co-main event, do not watch it because Alexander Pantoja snapped his arm, just throwing a kick and landing on his arm, and it bent Pantoja just bent his arm the wrong way, and it was awful and gruesome. And Joshua Van is the new flyweight champion, and I don't know how he could feel good about it because the other dude's arm was bent the wrong way. And that's my UFC update. Over to you. Be live.
Well,
hard to watch.
Yeah, you know what else is hard to watch?
What?
Los Angeles Clippers basketball. They have no idea what they're doing.
They got Chris Paul.
No, they do not.
They had Chris Paul. In the middle of the night, they said, go ahead, Beat. I'm sorry.
They don't even make the flight back, my dude. We know that you're on your 21st year. We know that you're a veteran. We know that you're a Hall of Famer, but you're no longer on this team. We know that you're retiring this year. This is supposed to be your retirement tour, but you're going to have to retire with somebody else. Come on, Clippers. You're not going to get any better by releasing the dude. Just let the man. He was averaging 14 minutes a game. He wasn't doing much, but let the man just travel with the team and finish out the year. This is what wild.
Yeah, he had a fight with Van Gundy. Him and Van Gundy didn't get along.
Yeah.
Did you know Van Gundy's with the Clippers? I just found that out too.
Yeah, I did. Apparently, he's been. Yeah, he's not been gelling with the coaches, and it be. Yeah, they just said you're not going to have a retirement tour with us, Chris Paul, first ballot Hall of Famer, but your retirement tour is about as good as John Cena's. All right, Eddy Kool, the ball.
You must have been reading my mind. Who had the worst retirement farewell tour, John Cena or Chris Paul? Jesus Christ. There's moments of that John Cena tour I want to forget over and over again.
They tried to make him. They made him a heel,
Yeah.
and it didn't stick. Like it's to put up, the crowd was like, "Nah, we like him too much.
Yeah.
This ain't working for us. Let's just switch everything up." And now, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Eddy Kool, the ball.
We want LA Knight. That's all I got to say. All right. On this day in history, fellas, back in 2018, the 84th Heisman Trophy Award presentation goes to Kyler Murray, quarterback of Oklahoma. And he has been since running around like a little 2-year-old in the backfield for the Cardinals ever since. Do we think this is his final year in Arizona, fellas? Yay, no?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be a Steeler next year.
You never know. They'll take anybody. They'll probably throw me better. I can't throw a football. Right. Anyways, yeah. So Kyler Murray wins the Heisman Trophy on this day in history back in 2018. Scottie D, over to you.
CBS Sports reports that the Pittsburgh Pirates have offered Kyle Schwarber 4 years, $100 million. I don't even know what to say about this. I'm sure Schwarber's like, but would the Pirates really do something like that? Does that sound like the Buccos to you? To me, it sounds like maybe just a token offer to show that they're in the game, they're in free agency. But I don't. First of all, I think Schwarber will get a better deal, and second of all, he ain't coming to Pittsburgh.
Oh no!
And that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
Kyle Schwarber, $25 million. That's it.
$25 million a year for it. Well, that's what CBS is saying. We don't know if that's true, but that's what they have reported. 4 years, $100 million.
That ain't gonna get Schwarber.
Very, very rich offer.
That's wild.
That's something. That's you kick the tires on that. You'll sniff that real quick. Yeah, go ahead, B-Lap.
Third and final pepper point. I'm gonna make this about as simple and as sweet as possible. This is a formal announcement from a college football player. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God for making me 6'7". Being tall carried me further than talent ever could. Thanks to my mom and dad for always supporting and believing in me unceasingly. To Coach Durkin, thanks for taking a chance on a guy with no film and giving me the opportunity to compete on the biggest stages of my career. To my teammates, you guys made the summer conditioning in his meetings and Matt drills worth it. With that being said, I would like to formally declare for the job market with 42 years of eligibility remaining.
I saw that. That's funny.
Jack Turner from Liberty University said he's formally declaring for the job. I laughed so hard at this because, all these players like, hey, well, I'm formally entering the transfer portal, formally entering doing this. I'm coming here. I'm going to my 7th team in 9 years. He said, you know what? It's been fun. And it's been
going
real.
to the job market.
I'm going to the job market, but that's it. I ain't gonna make it to the NFL. Man, Jack Turner, I wish you the very best of luck, and I think you're gonna do very well in your journey through the job market. It's a tough job market, but I think you're gonna be all right. And he's a big dude, 6'7". Yes, sir. There ain't gonna be too much he could do. But
you better, let them old folks say, you better take up a trade, son. You better take. How about this? I got an idea. Find a job that AI won't do. How about that? Yeah.
That part.
Yeah, just find a job.
Jeez.
Bouncer.
I mean, hey. AI can't do that. All right, fellas, with that being said, that about does it for another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. Always thank y'all for listening, watching, rating, reviewing, subscribing Click the link tree link to follow everything that there is the Sports Bros podcast. Any final words before we get the hell up out of here and eat dinner and be live, go bowling?
Shout out, rest in peace to
Um,
Eldon Campbell, former Clemson guy, former Laker.
Yeah, R.I.P. to number 41, Eldon Campbell.
And that's how you fit. That's how you complete the trifecta, because we had not mentioned the Lakers. But yeah, Eldon Campbell, rest in peace. Clemson legend at basketball, absolutely. He will be sorely missed. And yeah, and to our listeners, to our subscribers, and everything like that, I will work on these technical difficulties. We will be smoother, faster, better, stronger, all those things.
Needs to go there.
Oh Lord, and then he about to get naked. And then closing,
yeah.
do something nice for yourself. If you can do something nice for someone else, they're greatly appreciated now more than
I don't
ever.
know how to do this.
Be a blessing, not a burden. This has been another episode of your favorite sports podcast.
Scottie D is so white
Oh.
that he disappeared with the green screen setting.
Be live, take us home.
Yes, sir.
I'm back in the New York groove. We're back in the New York groove.
It's over. We gotta go. It's over for us.
Bye, y'all. See y'all next week. We enjoy y'all. It's attacking the belly. Hey, it's Eddy Kool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. Thank you for listening, and as always, continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Just click the link in the description box and keep up with the Sports Bros Podcast. And once again, thanks for listening.